So single day hike and fly is great, but multi-day hike and fly and traveling a distance just with a paraglider and on foot is the best. I don't do too much planning. I just want to know where I want to go and how far on a direct line it is away from the starting point. I will not plan on more than 40 to 50 kilometers. That is the distance I think you can do an average per day. So usually you think probably, well, I can do a 100-kilometer flight. Forget about that, there will be days of rain, so you're gonna be hiking 40 kilometers to 50 kilometers per day is quite a lot. Other than that, I don't do a lot of planning because I just carry my phone and my phone can do everything. With Google Maps, for example, I can just plan me the hiking route and it tells me how far it is and what's the shortest way. And the other app I like to use is Outdoor Active. It's great, it has all the hiking trails. The only thing you have to think about is to download the maps before you go away from the road, because sometimes you don't have any phone reception and then you can't load the maps. Let's go for a hike and fly.
Right now it's the middle of October, which is obviously not the perfect time to go on a multi-day hike and fly adventure in the Alps. All of you guys know that perfect time for good thermal flying in the Alps is between April and maybe August. I personally would recommend July. July is good because it's warm and there's almost no snow anymore on the top of the high mountain passes that you might have to cross walking at some point. So, and one thing I've learned from my personal experience, the first step is always the hardest. You have to leave your house whenever you set day to leave and not wait for the perfect conditions, because there will always be a bad forecast or even it's raining that day you plan to go. Don't care about it, just go outside, do the first step, set your goal for 10 kilometers on the first day and you will be in the adventure and you will be happy to be out of the house. That's what you have to do, just get going.
So one of the coolest things about hike and fly adventures is having breaks in amazing places. And what I love to eat is like just normal food. I bring bread, cheese, ham. I always have some bars with me as well, just as a backup if I run out of the other stuff. And they're also good to have them while you're flying. I don't bring a stove or something like that because it's better to be light all the time. But whenever I come to a village, I refill my supplies and I try to eat really good warm food in a place in the village to keep my energy level up. That's important.
So from my experience, packing only the bare essentials is crucial for a really cool hike and fly. Let's start with the glider. My glider is the same glider that I use during the X-Alps. It's really light and it's kind of a high performance glider. But I would recommend a glider that you feel really comfortable under. Take a safe glider, better take a B glider instead of a C glider or D glider, just to make sure you can enjoy the flight and you can really relax on the flight, even if you hiked already 20 kilometers in the morning. This pod harness that I have here is only just above 1.2 kilos and it's really comfortable and really safe. So I would recommend invest a little bit into glider and harness, take really safe equipment and comfortable equipment and you will enjoy every flight, because this is what we want to go for. We want to fly. All the extra clothes are in this extra bag I have. So whenever I arrive somewhere on a takeoff, for example, I just take that one bag out and everything is arranged. I don't have a big mess of one single underwear, one single sock flying around. I have 2 t-shirts, one I'm wearing, one is here. Bring 2 underwear and I bring 2 pairs of running socks, one here, one here. One really warm pair of socks for when I'm flying, and I always want to keep this pair of socks dry. 2 pairs of trousers, one long, one short. You're usually gonna be wearing this, and this is gonna stay dry. Even in summer, I put these warm but still lightweight Primaloft trousers on top. I wear a Primaloft jacket while I'm flying. I still wear rain clothes that I also have here, so I just basically wear everything that is dry when I go flying. So people will think, yeah, how can you only bring one pair of socks and one underwear and one t-shirt? What I do is just whenever I get to a river or any other water, I wash my stuff, the one that I'm not using at the moment, and I put it on my backpack, and it will eventually be dry when I need it the next day. So of course in summer on a longer hike and fly we'll get into some rain at some point. So what I like to bring is lightweight Gore-Tex trousers. These are old trousers that I cut just below my knee, because whatever you're gonna do, whatever you're gonna wear, your feet in the rain, walking in the rain, are always gonna get wet. What happens below your knees just doesn't matter. So I cut my trousers here, saves weight. I have a lightweight Gore-Tex jacket, which is really good. And it also helps while I'm flying against the wind, keeps you warm also there. On a hike and fly, of course, the hiking part will always be important. You cannot only fly, and so for hiking you need really good shoes. I like to take trail running shoes with a very grippy sole. And the question, Gore-Tex or not Gore-Tex, I bring Gore-Tex usually because when you start in the morning to hike up a mountain and you want to get to takeoff, the grass is usually still wet and your shoe is going to be really soaked, and you don't want to have really wet shoes before you go to fly. So it's also very important to keep your backpack dry, because as soon as your glider gets soaked with water, it's going to be really heavy and you can only get that water out if you're flying. So what I bring is a trash bag. I cut it up here, open, I put it on top of my backpack, that open side facing my back, and make 2 holes here on the side, put the belt through, and it will not fly away. Doesn't matter if it's a real torrential rain or if it's just a waterfall. You're gonna be hiking at least up to the takeoff, and as soon as you have weight on your back, I think sticks are really something you should take, because you can push with your arms so much and it helps a lot. And those sticks are really lightweight. It's very important that they are foldable, like really small, because you don't want anything to be hanging outside of your harness, because on takeoff, for example, a line can get tangled and that's going to be really dangerous. And I don't need them to be length adjustable. I better save weight and have one fixed length. One thing I like to do is I put 2 different types of tape on each of the sticks. The one is just normal tuck tape, you can fix almost anything. On the second stick I bring Leuco tape, and as soon as you feel there's a blister coming up or you have a blister already, just put a patch of this on your blister and you will not feel it that bad anymore. So when you're hiking up a mountain and you already know that you're gonna sleep up there soon, just stop whenever you find a suitable place and sleep there. And the only thing I really bring is an ultra lightweight mattress, very small, very light. And then when I go to bed, remember it's July, it's warm, pretty warm anyway. I take the glider and I fold it up and I put a couple of layers on top of me, and usually it's too warm. And if you're still cold, you can still adjust a little bit with all the clothes you have with you anyway. So what's left is only the small bits and pieces. I bring a headlamp. Safety is always the highest priority, and maybe you will get in the darkness at some point. The most dangerous part of each hike and fly adventure is walking on a road without a light. I have one little bag with my cables to charge my phone, for example. One thing you really shouldn't forget about is toilet paper. Always put it in a dry bag, because otherwise you will not have it anymore when you need it. Other important stuff: sunscreen, a little knife, toothpaste, toothbrush. I like to bring something like this. I think it's better than having a bottle, because this you just fill it up wherever you are. You always have your canister for water. One thing I really recommend to bring just for safety is a tracking device like a Spot Messenger or Garmin InReach. With this one, that's the advantage, you can also send messages. And one thing I almost forgot about technical equipment I bring is of course a Vario with a GPS. I mean, that's essential anyway for every pilot who wants to fly in thermals. The only thing that's left is of course gloves, helmet and cap to keep your head warm. Don't forget your sunglasses, of course. I also love to bring a bandana because you can also wear it while you're walking. You just have it around your neck and then put it over your ears while you're walking. It's really flexible. You don't always have to wear a cap. That's all the equipment I need for even 6 weeks hike and fly like I did with Tom the Dorlado on the Adriatic Circle. Now comes the fun bit, the flying.